7 reasons why you need to visit Universal Studios Florida.
7 is all we could come up with. No, just kidding. There's a lot of reasons why you should visit Universal in Orlando, but here's 7 of the things that we thought you would be interested in, especially if you haven't gone. A lot of people go to Orlando and they make it a Disney trip, and they don't necessarily think that Universal is for them. So we're going to share a few things that we love about Universal and why you should check it out as well.
Why you should go with their slogan of fun so hard.
That's their slogan.
It's fun so hard, just like watching your favorite TV shows and movies, except with the ultimate ridey things, twists and turns and drops.
Universal is definitely for older adults and teens. They definitely have more thrilling rides. It's a lot of 3D screens, but there are some things at Universal that can compete with Disney, whether you have old or young kids.
There's some immersive experiences there that I think that has changed the game, maybe level the playing field a little bit, and we're going to list a few right now.
And we were with you. We never went to Universal. We were very diehard Disney fans, never went to Universal. But as our kids got older, we checked it out, and we actually found that, you know what? We do like Universal.
Not bad. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to say that we like it.
You have a good saying. You say or Universal is fun, Disney is magical.
All right, number 1, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley, and Hogsmeade. Talking about what I said earlier about leveling the playing field and having some immersive experiences. Here, you're going to fall in love with all things Harry Potter.
So Diagon Alley is a very, very unique place. And you don't have to be a diehard Harry Potter fan in order to enjoy your experience there. Like me. Our kids read the books, watched the movies. I did not. So when we first went, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Is it going to be interesting to me? Will I know what the heck is going on when it comes to Diagon Alley? But you know what? They did a tremendous job of transforming that place into Diagon Alley. And it's even good for people who don't know the story.
You literally step into the magical world of Harry Potter with the rides, the shops, experiences that I feel transport you into this enchanting world of books and movies. It's something, there's a surprise in every corner. There's something incredible happening no matter where you look. And that's what I really love about it.
And it's even great for people who aren't interested in the story to get interested in the story. When I went to Diagon Alley for the first time, it made me second guess my never reading the book or watching the movie. And I was always saying to the kids, you know what? When we get back home, maybe you should watch the movie with me and you can kind of explain what's going on. So that way, when I go back, I understand it more and I can get the even smaller nuances that it has in the land.
What were your feelings when you first stepped into the bank? When you were going into the attraction, the Escape from the Gringotts, I really was floored about the level of detail that was in there, and you're going through the bank. I mean, let alone, let's not forget the fire-breathing dragon that welcomes you. I guess the dragon breathes and blasts out flames that reach temperatures of 3,500 degrees.
You can feel it when you're standing
It's
there.
hot, yeah.
I thought the bank was one of the best queues.
Yeah, me too.
And
I was shocked.
Yeah, it was. I think it's almost great to not know what to expect if you go there for the first time. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what to expect walking into that bank, and I was floored by the queue. I was almost as fascinated with the queue as I was the ride itself.
Yeah, exactly. Same. All right, number 2. I mean, we could talk about the Wizarding World for a long time, but number 2, gonna move it along. Revenge of the Mummy. Now, does this one get enough love? Because I love it. My only wish was that it was a little bit longer of a ride.
I think if you're a Universal native, it gets love. But if you're outside of Universal you know what? Maybe it doesn't get a lot of love when it comes to top coasters. It's never brought up as.
I never hear about it.
No, it's never. When someone says what's the best coaster in either Disney or Universal, Mummy's not usually mentioned at all. Mm-hmm. Now it is a great one, and maybe it's because it's not the longest, or it's not outside; it's indoors, so you can't really see what you're going through, and it's not super long.
It's not super long, but it is really immersive, and the unexpected twists, the flames, it takes you through a cursed tomb. I love all things that I just love that story. So to me, I really get really into it. I do wish it was a little bit longer, but I think it also depends on where you're sitting, where you're seated in the coaster affects your experience.
Yeah, we sat in the front seat last time, and the front seat definitely has a different feel than the back seat. It's intense. You get that wind blowing in your face, and your eyes are watering as you're going through the coaster. It's very much an intense feeling. Now, it was obviously just redone.
Right.
But it felt pretty similar to what it was before.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I don't know what they actually redid. Maybe they just refurbished some things and updated it a little, but
To me, it's a smooth coaster too. So I really love it. And it is, the twists and turns don't really affect my body too bad. You
Yeah.
know, when I get off, I really just want to ride again.
and it's way smoother than Rip Ride Rocket, which is the other coaster that's there that usually has a long line. So if you are not a coaster person, this one's kind of your style because it is a coaster. It's fun, but it's not overly thrilling where you get scared.
Right, exactly. All right, number 3, the food. The food is actually pretty good. We were kind of on the negative side of the food at Universal for a long time. And then recently, I don't know what has changed. Maybe we have changed our outlook, but to me, the food's really good now.
I think you have to experiment a little bit. If you just go for the same thing everywhere, you're going to say to yourself, you know what, the food's not that great.
Right.
But you have to think outside the box and maybe do a little bit of a research and ask some friends or people who you know that go to Universal, hey, where do you go to eat? Because if you just eat the regular burgers and chicken fingers, yeah, it's going to be okay. But there's places like in Diagon Alley that you can get food that's way different. And if you are a little bit on the experimental side of food, you can experience something that you wouldn't have if you didn't give it something to try.
There's Mel's Drive-In, one of my favorite 50s drive-in. You get
Which is like a classic burger and shake place.
Yeah, but you get that vibe, that 50s old school vibe, and it's the old cars greet you at the entrance, and to me it sets the tone, so it just puts you in a good mood. Then you have something that we used to walk by often, which is the Today Cafe. I don't know what it is about this particular, to me I thought it was just like a coffee shop or like a quick bagel place. I didn't realize they actually have really great sandwiches.
And you know what the cool thing about the Today Cafe too is the outdoor dining right there. Sometimes when you get either a breakfast or a lunch, you just sit on the outdoor table and people watch because everybody's kind of filtering in through that area right there. And it's great to kind of just sit there with your coffee and just see where everybody's racing to or what their family is like. It's just interesting to watch.
They have really fun sandwiches like the Carnegie platter, the Wise Guy platter. They have even I Heart Vegan, which actually sounds really good. They list like roasted portobello mushrooms, peppers, and all these things. To me, it was not a must-do until recently, and I really, really enjoy it. It's one of the places that I really like to eat.
And you know what makes it a bonus for all these places too is mobile ordering.
Well, that is a game changer.
When the mobile ordering works properly and the app's working great, it's such an easier experience to just mobile order, get your seat, go pick it up when it's ready versus sitting in line.
Yeah.
Because, there's always those people, and I am one of those people sometimes that you don't know what you want.
Me, I'm that
So you're up
people.
at the counter and you're like, it just takes a lot longer. If you're like me, go sit down somewhere, look at the menu. You get to take your time, really read what's on these things and really choose what you actually want without being rushed.
Right. Okay, we can't skip with the food portion without talking about dessert, which I love ice cream a lot, but I particularly love it in Wizarding World. We have to go here every time, especially with the kids, because they love it too. But Florian Fortescue ice cream, it's more than just butterbeer ice cream. I know some people don't love butterbeer, but they have really fantastic flavors like Earl Grey lavender. There's toffee apple, and my personal favorite that I dream about, chocolate chili.
You know what, too? I'm a person that, especially for ice cream, I tend to stick to the flavors that I like.
Or
Yeah, I have one or two flavors that I really enjoy, and if they have it, I'll order it. If they don't have it, I just won't get ice cream. I'll get something else. That being said...
Which we judge you, by the way, for that.
I know. Everybody judges me for it. But if you're like me and you are one of those persons, throw that out the window and order something off of this menu. You won't regret it. Like, you're in Harry Potter land.
Right.
Get an ice cream that's not your typical ice cream that you're going to have at home. Enjoy your experience. It's cool to see, and it's a really cool ice cream shop, and the flavors are very unique there.
All right, and there's something for every wizard and muggle.
You know what? You never know what you're going to like either. So sometimes you're going to try one thing, and you're like, I don't really like that, but I can try this as well.
Okay, next one. I don't think it's enough love. We do see some things on the internet that people say they could skip, but it's a family favorite. We love this one, number 4, Men in Black, Alien Tech.
It's like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
It's like one of those, it's pretty much like Buzz Lightyear when you're in Disney World.
A little more intense.
It's a little bit more intense.
Yeah.
It obviously spins around a whole lot more. You're not necessarily in control of how much it spins. It does it on its own. But again, it's just fun. Like, not every attraction has to be the best, most epic attraction. It could just have fun with your family on it.
I don't know. I really love this queue. I love from start to finish. I love the theme song Men in Black, so I really get into it. I love aliens and being able to battle and zap your way through New York City face to face with these aliens. And then there's also like the really cool beats and the music.
Yeah.
I really like it. I just have a good time.
You know what this one does really good? It makes you feel like you are in the headquarters of Men in Black.
You are in the headquarters.
Well, it's a replica.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it's a replica. It's not the real headquarters.
Darn.
But it makes you see, it does such a good job. It makes you feel like you are in the headquarters of Men in Black.
Okay.
And I think this is one of the best ones that does that. It makes you feel like you are in the actual place.
Yeah.
Not things that look like it, but it makes you feel like you're there.
I think this one deserves more love. It's a really fun attraction, and it's competitive too, right? You got your laser beams and you're shooting against the aliens. Fun.
Who doesn't think this is a good one?
I've heard and seen a lot of just negativity on this one.
Because it's boring, or?
Yeah, it's like a boring ride.
It's a shooting game with your family. What do they want?
All right, number 5, Hogwarts Express. This is very unique. Technically, you're going to the other park when you're riding it, but it is a magical train that I think is worth the experience.
This is the only one that I may disagree with you on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna push back a little bit on this one.
Take your time.
This is great. So we've ridden this many, many times.
Where's the mute button?
Yeah, you're not gonna mute me yet on this one. Okay. We've ridden this many times.
Yeah.
And a couple times we got to ride just our family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. It is a little awkward riding in there with people you don't know.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So last time we were in there, and there was so many people in our cart that we had to sit across from each other, squeezed in next to people we had no idea who they were. And that was so awkward. And when it's that awkward, I just can't enjoy myself.
You can't make small talk?
No, I don't want to.
I do.
I don't want to make small talk. It's such a quiet, awkward atmosphere.
It is a quiet environment, and it is, your personal train. And so you feel a little bit like it's a personal experience, or it's very intimate, if you will, You're
in a small...
It's
like you're in a small,
train.
Quiet area.
Yeah.
So if I could give any advice out here, like when you go to Halloween Horror Nights, bring your scare squad. Bring the same scare squad if you're going to ride Hogwarts Express.
Okay, that's
because
fair.
then you'll be in your own car. Then it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's true. But it's a really fun ride. It's a unique experience between London and Hogsmeade. And it's truly a magical train, and that also really immerses you in the story of Harry Potter. So I really love it.
And it's not that long.
No, it's not that long.
It's a great way. Long. Yeah, the line can be long, so not that part, but the train ride itself. And it's a good way to get back and forth between each park.
All right, number 6. This one is also one that might be controversial on our list because people don't really love it, but it's E.T. And
who doesn't love E.T.?
I don't know. Some people. E.T. Adventure. This one speaks to my 80s childhood, and I hope it never changes because I think even my kids now who didn't grow up in that era still appreciate it. It's almost so corny that it's cute that they can't help but love it because technology has really taken over nowadays.
It is definitely kind of corny, especially when you get to E.T.'s home planet and all his E.T. friends are there. But the ride through the forest and you're sitting on a bike, it's got a unique experience how you get through the ride.
Yeah.
And then the ride itself brings you back, especially if you're a guy or a gal like us. If you're a gal like me and a guy like you, brings you back to your childhood.
When else are you going to get the opportunity to fly through the skies of Earth on a bike?
I mean, I think that's the only one, actually. So, I'm trying to think about other experiences that I've had, and I think that's the only time.
Really colorful. I love when you're going through the forest. That's really pretty, too. I wish you actually could camp out there. That's just like a whole nother. Well,
we got stuck one time. We got an in-show exit. Well, we didn't get an in-show exit, but we got stuck inside of the forest for quite a while.
We did, and I wasn't mad about it. It was kind of fun.
It's good to be able to kind of look around and stop, and because you're going through usually you go through nonstop, and it's hard to see everything. But when you get stuck in the middle of the forest, you get a chance to look around and see all the little details.
It's super colorful from the beginning. It's dark, but then towards the end, when you meet E.T. and his family, it gets really colorful and bright. And to me, it has all that mixture of just like very visual, very peaceful ride.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Just fun.
All right, this last one, number 7, I'm not exactly sure if Bruce is going to agree with me, but I do. I love it, and I think you should give it a shot. I think it sets the tone of everything you're about to experience at Universal. It may make you understand this particular park a little better and the history of how it all began. And this one is Universal presents the Horror Makeup Show. So this one is somewhat like a comedy show, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's a mix. If I had to describe it, it's a mix of...
Because it's not scary.
It's a mix of how they do things behind the scene with a hint of comedy thrown in live in-person actors.
Yes, and it has a really amazing cue in the beginning. If you have some time before the next show starts, I highly recommend going in there and taking the time to look around. You'll be surprised of all the history and things that you might not have either remembered or something new you might learn about the process of movie making and how they made these monsters come alive with makeup.
It's definitely not, though, for young kids. It can get a little gory.
See, I don't know. It says it's technically for everyone, adults, teens, tweens, kids under 7. Because to me, even though it has the words horror, yeah, there's some moments where there's like scary, but it's old school scary. So I don't necessarily know if that will actually make someone afraid. I don't know.
I don't know if it makes you afraid as squeamish.
Okay, that
So
that
I
could
was
be
thinking
it.
of more
Yeah.
squeamish than
All
scary.
right.
It's not going to scare you like, oh, no, I'm scared. It's more like, do I really want to see that?
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Good point. I'll leave it at that.
You know,
Wow, Bruce bringing in the parental
Yeah.
commentary here. I never thought that would happen.
Because
Okay.
there was a couple of points where I kind of looked away. I was
Parent-
like, you know what? I like to see it in the movie. I don't really necessarily need to know how it's made.
Bruce is bringing the parental advisory. Wow, things have changed.
That's right. This is the one and only time you'll ever hear that on the show.
This is our true identity here. I'm like, yeah, bring the kids, get them immersed in this.
I'm pretty sure you
experience.
can sneak drinks in there too.
This is just a fun place. I don't know about that, but whatever. It's a really good experience to me. You get to see the movie clips and props and the interactive demonstrations. And like I said, even though it has the word horror, it is like a comedy show. So it's a fun twist, and you learn something. To me, that's the best part of an attraction.
Especially if you like movies. Like, we love
Yeah.
movies, so seeing how they did this in the old style is interesting to see. Sometimes you're like, yeah, like you said, like E.T.'s a little bit corny. Some of these
Sure.
things are like, oh yeah, that's kind of corny, but it is kind of cool to see it. And they're good on stage. The actors have good on stage presence, and it makes you entertained the whole time you're there.
Exactly.
All right, question of the show.
Okay.
What is one thing that you love about Universal? If you said to somebody, here's the question of the show. Somebody who doesn't go to Universal a lot, what's one thing that you could tell them to make them want to go? Like, what is your one thing that you love about Universal that makes somebody else want to go?
What makes you think that they would want to go and fun so hard?
Yeah, why would they want to fun so hard with you in an awkward little cart on the Hogwarts Express?
Yeah, exactly.
What would that one thing be? Question of the show.
All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, check out our other podcasts. All the links to that is below this video, or wherever you're listening to the video on YouTube or on the podcast. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button. Listen, we don't ask you for anything. This show is completely 100% free. The only cost, you know what that cost is?
What's that?
That subscribe button push.
Okay.
Hit that subscribe button. That's the only fee you have to ask. We ask you of this podcast, and share it with some friends. That would tremendously help us out, and we'll see you next time.